Welcome to the VGB's podcast. This is episode 14. Wow. Can you believe we've been doing this for 14 years?
1 year. 14 years.
Sure. I'm one of your hosts, John Ward. With me is my forever co-host, Nikki Grayson.
Hi, John.
We're recording this on a Thursday, and I heard that you lost a spelling bee today.
Okay, well, you didn't have to start with the fact that I lost. Was I the first eliminated? Yes.
What'd you lose on?
I already forgot. Look, I can tell you. I texted Jess. Indispensable.
Indispensable.
Okay.
INDISPENSABLE.
Yep. That's exactly how I spelled it, and that is incorrect. It's ABLE.
Ooh,
indispensable. Yes.
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
I would have been out too.
So that's exactly how I lost.
We're exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Letters are hard.
Letters are hard.
Jan tried to fuck me though, because he gave me Egyptian.
Inappropriate feels like, but
I know,
fine.
crazy. He gave me Egyptian and I spelled it right, and then he tried to disqualify me because I didn't say capital E. There was an uprising in chat and amongst my competitors, my fellow compatriots, my competitors said, "Hey, that's horse shit."
Has Jen never seen a spelling bee before? They don't have to do that.
It was so funny.
You don't have to do that. That's really
so funny.
They don't have to say capital in or whatever.
Because I spelled it. And I looked at his face and I was like, well, I spelled it right. So what he's going to do is the bit where he says, I'm sorry, that's correct. And then he said, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. And I was like, maybe I did spell it wrong.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it isn't EGYPTITIAN. Maybe it's not that. And then he said, we needed to put a capital E. And I lost it. It was so funny. Anyway, go watch that. It's on the Giant Bomb YouTube channel.
That's really funny. Well, clearly I would not have. I would also have been.
We would have lost in the same round.
We would have lost in the same round. So that's good. That's good to know. Well, I did not have a spelling bee today. I did have a personal pizza, and I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up because you didn't get any for Elby and I.
I didn't. And I had a IPA at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I drank the whole thing, and I had a nap, and the result of this podcast is me waking up from the nap. And then
you said
grabbing my computer and then going to a different room.
You said before the recording started that you feel 5% worse than you did before the nap.
I do. Yeah.
Which means that it didn't work.
What's kind of like I'm not really by nature a napping person. I don't nap but more times than not, I do wake up and I feel worse. What's kind of the ideal circumstances for a nap? Time of day, length, all of that stuff.
Okay, so I think I have a personal ranking.
Okay.
I think an 11 to 12:30 nap hits.
Oh.
I think that shit goes crazy. Because I wake up at 6:30 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wake up, then do stuff, and then I can still take a nap, and then I'm like, well, I still literally have the whole day ahead of me. Mm-hmm. It's not even 1:00 yet, and then I have the rest of the day. That hits. 3 to 5 is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love a 2-hour nap. I love going to sleep for 1 hour and then waking up after the hour and saying, I think I can do another one.
Go another one.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I think I can do another one. And then I take that second hour and it hits most of the time. I've been napping a lot, which has been great for my mood and the way that my brain works, actually. I think for a long time, I have needed to sleep in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and have been completely unable to. But now I'm in a situation where I can nap. And I feel better as a person because I'm able to take a nap during the day whenever I need to. So that's another reason I can never work in an office.
I think it's too well, unless you're Neo from Zam.
That's so true. Do you think I'll have that pull wherever I go next?
I hope so. I don't know how he got his. So that was a funny, quick story time. One of our last CEO at Zam, Neo, nice guy, but he would often come into work from like long flights, and we would just catch him in one of our adjacent rooms, just like zonked out. Like
that's incredible.
Zonked out.
I wish.
Yeah, I wish
for that to have been me. You know,
I think a 2-hour nap is, I think, my ideal. I think it's the best, most likely way for me to wake up and not feel bad.
Yeah.
The next is 20 minutes, which is so hard to hit.
I cannot do 20 minutes.
And when I do hit it, it's great, but it's so dangerous because you can drift right into 40. And 40 is just about the worst you can do.
But why does 45 hit?
45 hits. But
I
like
agree with you that
30
40
and 40,
is not it.
It's not good.
No. I can't do 20 because it takes me too long. So if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna,
it takes me a while to go to sleep.
If I sit down and say, okay, it's 2:15, I'm going to nap, quote unquote, nap for 20 minutes. It's 19 minutes of me thinking about how unfortunate it is that I'm not going to go to be able to. Yes, exactly. And then I fall asleep for 30 seconds, and then I wake up and the alarm's going off.
To take a 2-hour nap takes. This is so weird, but you're right. To take a 2-hour nap, it takes about 2 hours and 5 minutes.
That's correct.
To take a 20-minute nap, it takes about 60 minutes.
Yeah,
for me, where it's just like I've got to like sit there and be like, well, I got to give it a real shot. I'm like. 20 minutes, not very long. I'm really mad about it.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get sleepy. And then I'm like, and then I wake up 40 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, and I lay there and I just feel like shit for another 20 minutes. I'm like,
yeah, it's awful.
It's awful. It's the worst.
So sleeping is good and bad.
Yeah. We right now, I don't need to tell these stories again, but we're living out of boxes. Ann and I are at my parents' house. Raisinette is at our old house in Fayetteville with Ann's mom. And we have Ravioli. Ravioli historically sleeps in our bathroom in his bed. Mm-hmm. And he sleeps through the night, and he never makes a peep, and it's awesome. He has gotten the privilege of being able to sleep in our bed since we've come here. And guess what? I don't sleep very well because I have a wiggly little dickhead just every once in a while, just like, wee. You
ever heard of it? You ever heard of this? Yeah.
And so I've been sleeping at like 90-minute intervals.
And that's
for like,
good.
It's really bad.
Oh, it's bad.
It's really bad. Yeah, I'm not sleeping well. So, yeah.
Barley doesn't sleep with me anymore.
That's a choice that she's made.
Yes, devastating to me.
Devastating.
Legitimately devastating to me. Like,
devastating.
My feelings were hurt the first time we got ready for bed, and then she was like, I picked her up to put her in bed. And then she opened the covers because she sleeps like under the covers. Opened the covers, and then she laid down for 2 seconds, and then stood back up, came out of the covers, looked me dead in the eye, walked to her bed, jumped off the bed, and I wanted to jump into fucking traffic, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Awful.
Yeah, Raisinette used to want to Raisinette still likes to be up on the bed, but she used to like to be in between us. Mm-hmm. Couldn't be caught fucking dead doing that.
Not in a million years.
She's at the end of the bed, and if we try to get her to do it, she's just like, ah. So Ravioli loves it, and Ann looked at me dead in the face. It's so funny that you said this like an hour ago, and she just said he'll quit doing this someday, and I was like. What? Why would you say that? I was like, I think she's right, but I'm like, you don't have to put it out.
Don't point it out. Yeah, no, it's awful.
It sucks.
It's like, and it does. We have taken a couple naps together, and that's hit. Mm-hmm. But dude,
damn, that's rough.
For 3.5 fucking years, of dedicated barley time, and then
sad.
For what? For what? I feed this thing for what? For no reason.
For no reason.
To be spit in the face. To be spatted in the spitted in the face.
Spitted in the face.
You ever think about how dogs can't spit?
No, but I mean, like, I'm thinking about it now.
They can't spit. They can't laugh.
They can't spit. They can't spit and they can't laugh.
It's really fucked up that dogs can't laugh.
I do too.
Like, I think it's awful. Too.
It'd be so, like, but wouldn't it be weird to find out that they laugh at really weird stuff?
Yes, like figuring out what like, dogs think is funny
right,
is devastating. Also, is the thought. Like, because do monkeys laugh? But do monkeys think that things that we think are funny are funny? What do monkeys think is funny?
I feel like they think slapstick is funny. Like, I feel like when they laugh at people that like slip on stuff.
Slip and fall on stuff, yeah. So they get that.
I feel like
they get like that. They get base comedy stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. They're on TikTok watching knockout compilations all day. Like, they just have a little monkey brain. They're like, I've seen this one before. I'll watch it again though.
Yeah. And they lose it.
Yeah, they fucking lose it. Did you happen to see they didn't show it on AEW's broadcast, but at All In, spoilers for AEW All In.
That was a week ago.
But Bryan Danielson won the AEW title. Then invited his family into the ring, and his son was like acting up in the middle of the ring, and this was after the broadcast went off the air. Bryan Danielson puts his kid in between his legs and goes, "I'm gonna tiger drive him," and he hooks his arms, and Bree is like, "No," which is like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's so fucking funny. So try to threaten to tiger bomb your tiger drive your toddler.
Fuck, that's funny.
It's really.
I'm glad
really
he
fun.
finally won something. He's never won anything before.
He's never won anything. But least successful man on the planet, Bryan Danielson, finally won something. Video games. We talked about video games on the Bombcast this week. I was there for B Week, which was so great.
B Week.
So I don't want to totally retread the Nintendo Direct, although there were a couple of good things from there, and Gamescom. I didn't go, so I don't really have anything to say about that.
Me neither.
And I don't know if we'll ever go after talking about it for 2 hours last week about how boring it was.
Well, no. It was just, to be so clear, Gamescom, if you're watching.
I will go. I will go.
It was boring because we weren't there.
We weren't there. Right.
I would feel differently if I was roaming the streets of Cologne.
Yeah, we would do the milk crate challenge because I have no fiduciary duty
exactly
anymore. And we would do the milk crate challenge.
That's right.
Which would involve you failing it and then me crashing through milk.
Yes. God, that's funny.
Which would be really good.
That's great. Think about that.
Think about that. Cologne.
So, also, there's some corrections from the previous week's episode that I must make.
Go ahead.
They do have panels. I just didn't know anybody there. So that's on me.
Okay.
And last week I said that. Oh fuck! Last week I said it was some woman was the Fortnite lady, but it's not the woman I said. It's actually Carol G.
I don't remember you saying any of that. So
I said it was some lady that
cool that I don't remember anything.
Carol G. Fortnite.
Carol G. Fortnite.
It is Carol G.
Fortnite. Oh, okay.
So whoever I said last week wasn't them.
That wasn't it.
Nope. It was Carol G the whole time.
But it was Carol G the whole time. Well, that's good. I'm glad we made those corrections.
Yeah. The Nintendo Direct was fine.
It was fine. It's one of those where, I thought it was so funny. I still think one of the biggest announcements from that was a game called Trails in the Sky getting a remake. It looks like a full-ass remake, which is wild. And that's a huge, beefy RPG, and you can play them right now, actually, on Steam Deck. They play really well on Steam Deck, the originals. But I think that remaster is going to be really cool. And it's for Switch. I don't think it's exclusively for Switch, but I'll have to double check that. But yeah, just like announced in the middle of a montage is like such a classic Nintendo move of kind of not really identifying like the right pieces of things that would
pop off
cool, right?
Yeah.
It's very them.
I'm also still shocked that they do they regionalize these.
Right. Me too.
That's shocking to me.
Yep.
Like no other part of Nintendo's business is that anymore.
Nope.
It used to be that the games would come out like 4 months beforehand. Like, yes, in the past, sure. It's not like that anymore. So I don't understand why there are different games in the Japanese Direct that are still going to release everywhere else in the world.
Right.
But the Japanese Direct gets different games, and then sometimes it'll get different footage for the same games, which is nuts. It's like, I don't understand why you're doing this way. You get Power Stone finally. It's finally a way for you to play Power Stone.
Finally a way for you to play Power Stone. I haven't been able to play Power Stone in a really long time because there hasn't been on any sort of like machine.
There's no other way.
If there was a way for you to basically like make up a way to play an old game, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exist. So I haven't played anything before 2017 in a long time. It's all lost to me. But no, Power Stone is really cool. Power Stone 2 is, I think, legitimately one of the best games Capcom has ever made. It is now in a Capcom Fighting Collection 2, along with some SNK versus Capcom games. Some games that I honestly I agree with you. I think a lot of those other games are pretty bad. If not completely fake that they made up. In fact, they should do that for Capcom Fighting Collection 3. They should put like UFO 50, the upcoming collection of 50 indie games that are just they're acting like they're part of an old collection.
Yeah,
they should just do that. Capcom Fighting Collection 3 has got like 5 games in it that are completely new. And they're gonna act like they were made in 2001 or whatever.
Yeah. Jim Bob versus Street Fighter.
Jim Bob. Nissan, Toyota, and Chevrolet versus Capcom.
Yeah, like where's that?
Yeah, where's that?
That would hit.
Yeah.
They should make a platform fighter.
Iron Chef versus Darkstalkers.
That's great.
It's great.
Why is there not a Capcom platform fighter? I guess is it because they're all in Smash? Doesn't Capcom have enough guys to make their own?
Yeah, they have a million guys. And I mean, if they still teamed up with Marvel, Hey,
what's that about?
Why isn't there a Marvel versus Capcom platform fighter?
That seems easy, right?
That seems so.
Do you think the for a platform fighter is dead because of Multiverses because they fucked it up?
No, because I don't think Multiverses is IP is that interesting for a platform fighter. Like I saw Beetlejuice was just like announced for it, and it was like, here's Beetlejuice's moveset, and I just like I watched that realizing that's like I couldn't give less of a fuck about this. Like, it's just like, I mean, part of it is also watching the movie trailer for Beetlejuice and feeling the exact same way.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is strange because like I like that original movie. I think it's like I think it's really funny and weird, but like I'm so thoroughly convinced it needed to stay there and never ever break containment that I'm just like, because it's broken containment, I'm mad about it now. Yeah. But it's like a lot of that WB stuff, like part of it's also, honestly, I know how bad WB is fucking up every part of its games business.
Yes.
So that when it's releasing its own it doesn't feel like a celebration. It feels like a fucking cheap trick.
No, for sure.
It feels like a tax write-off somehow. Yeah. We got to get Beetlejuice in something.
Yeah. We had a
contractual obligation.
Yeah, he was going to appear in a game at some point.
It doesn't feel like a celebration. It doesn't feel like Sakurai pulling that stuff in to Smash felt really exciting because it felt like Nintendo at least kind of understood the assignment. And it's like WB is just like, well, let's I don't know. Fuck, I don't. What's LeBron? What's Bronny James doing?
LeBron's in it, right?
Yeah, LeBron's in it. Weird, because in 1992, Shaq being in a video game was wild. Like that was like, oh, Shaq Fu, neat.
Yes,
that's neat. Actually, that was probably like 94. It doesn't matter. But like, I Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam.
Yeah,
really cool, goofy news. But LeBron James being in like a platform fighter is like no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a shit. Who cares?
Like there's like it would be so funny if like before the next Suns Lakers game, KD just posts a compilation of him like beating the fucking dog shit out of LeBron with Bugs Bunny in multiverses. Funny. But it's like it won't happen.
It won't happen because it's got no cultural cachet.
It's got no cultural cachet.
Sad.
No one's used multiverses to make a joke about anything, which is like that's how you know. That's how you know it's got no juice.
Damn.
So,
well, multiverses is back. It's coming to your phone. I made that up. It's not.
I 1000% bought it. I was like, must have missed that. I'll have to go check the Apple Arcade.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not true.
It's not. That's one of those Nikki Grayson patented lies.
Yes, that was a lie.
Lying for fun about things that don't matter is, and I have to say again, it's the funniest thing you could do.
Thank you. It's great. I think that also involving licensed properties, Star Wars Outlaws is another video game that I've been playing.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Have you played any more of it over the past couple of days? Or
I played 10 more minutes of it, and then I said, I think I'm tired. And then I went to bed. But here's the
tired, like sleepy. Not
yes.
Okay.
I like not tired of the game. I'm actually really enjoying my time with it. But I think it's because I have expectations that have been reasonably set. I have the ability to look at a thing and understand what it is, and I'm not trying to get anything more out of this than anything else.
I have crucially not played this game yet. I have a code for it. I have no way to redeem it, which is very funny right now. But the thing with me is that everyone that feels like they might have been shortchanged by what this game is, I'm losing the plot of what they thought it was. Like what in the grandest sense of expectation setting, like what were people thinking this was?
I think
it's an Ubisoft open world game.
Yes, and I think they were expecting a Grand Theft Auto.
Wow. Yeah,
even though nobody said
we didn't really unpack that the other day at the Bombcast, but that's what you said, and I was like, so all right, so you saw that first trailer and thought, okay, this might be a GTA like, because I could see that. I can see that. But what it really is a stealth game with Ubisoft open world elements.
Correct.
Okay.
And I think it's great. Okay. Like I think it's a good one of those. It feels like a PlayStation 2
I mean, that sounds like it's an Assassin's Creed.
It's kind of like an Assassin's Creed. Yes. There's like, I think critical to Assassin's Creed is the locomotion, because there are like multiple ways to approach and approach a target. And there are multiple ways to approach targets here, but it fundamentally is you are going to walk through the doors that they have put here for you to get, so it's not like there's no potential
immersive sim.
Exactly. Yeah. And like
which
not that Assassin's Creed,
which would have been great.
Which would have been sick. But would have been really sick. But again, is like not what them making an immersive sim, right? Is not them. You're not making a Star Wars immersive sim.
Right.
You're making a game that a 14 to 17-year-old is going to love.
Yeah.
And like that, like if you don't think that that's what the Star Wars games are gonna be, then you're going to sorely be disappointed every single time one of them comes out, because of course it's not going to be the thing that you want.
Right. Andor might have been the worst thing that happened to. Last Jedi and Andor might be the worst thing that's happened to it. Not because they're not good, because I like them both very, very much, but because I think they've had a cultural reset on what Star Wars can be, and like I think fundamentally other aspects of that franchise have not gotten to that point. And they're not going to.
Right.
Probably.
They're not interested in it. Right. Like if something pops off with that franchise, it is by accident.
Yeah.
It is not and considering how intentional every single step is.
Right.
Like, or every single move that Lucas makes, right? Like those are those are accidents. Those things happen by accident because someone somewhere didn't realize that, we've actually made something good. With a video game where at this point, like, it's so stratified out, right? Like Ubisoft is making this thing.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's going to be distilled and kind of whack.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look and sound exactly like it. Yes. Easy. They figured out how to do that.
Yep.
Can't be that deep. It literally cannot be that deep.
Right.
So I think it's good though. I'm enjoying my time with it.
Well, it's just so funny though. Like, I think back to years and years ago, like in the DS era, Ryan Easby at VGBs.com.
Mm-hmm. That's your website.
And that's my website and Niki's website. Star Wars Lethal Alliance. He wrote a piece about that and like just talking about essentially the heyday of like the Star Wars IP was just fucking out there and people were just making a ton of stuff with almost no expectation.
Yeah.
And it was the place where we were getting fresh stories and not like big profound swings that were trying to do new things, but just like, again, like more entries into the childhood classic that is Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I'm like, I feel like, again, that's an IP that could probably be served to have sliced up into a million pieces, and a lot of different companies could do something interesting with, like Warhammer is doing right now. Warhammer is doing that, which I think is really good. A lot of really interesting games are coming out of that. But I think Star Wars could absolutely use like, just you know what, Disney, John Drake, if you're listening, listen, John. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's sitting down.
Okay. Are you sitting? Thank you. Just break it apart and send it out into the different corners. Give it to a bunch of indies. You don't think the guy that made Balatro could make like a Sabacc game and just like try it? I'm not saying that a local thunk would want to do that, but I'm just saying like we can riff.
Yes.
We can riff and have fun with it and not spend hundreds of millions of dollars in like 6 years making a game that whose expectations are super out of whack and whatever. And like, again, I'm excited to play Outlaws. It's one of the games I'm most excited to actually play once I get my consoles back. But like, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. Big game receptions these days.
Yeah, just if you like the video game, then you like it. This is how I feel. Is that like I think it like so deeply. I think there is like people have gotten to the point where now they are playing games. Yes, but it's allegiances to takes. Like allegiances to the idea of
which
a take.
So dumb.
Which is like, what are you like? No, you don't. You don't need to.
Like the Black Myth Wukong thing has actually kind of broken me too. Like, like, for people who are like, oh, this is actually really cool. It's like, oh, wow, you must be a Chinese nationalist. I'm like,
I don't know.
And it's like I don't know. Or like, I think this game's really mid. And they're like, oh, so you're part of the China. You're part of the woke brigade. And it's like, well,
no,
I don't know.
I'm playing the video game presented to me. And this isn't, and I need to be so clear, this isn't me saying that these things aren't important. These conversations that happen around them are important.
The game science stuff is really important, and I want to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, it's like, playing the thing in front of me.
Yes. Like that is the thing that is going to generate whether or not you feel good about it. Like I don't like Grand Theft Auto because I think it is dull to play and the ideas are bad.
The ideas are
right.
Bad. Yeah.
I think they are integral to the thing. And my dislike of that franchise and series is based not just on me having read a bunch of stuff about GTA. It is based on me having played GTA and being like, I think everyone involved in this kind of sucks and has bad ideas on what video games should be and the kinds of stories that should be told.
The moment I stopped playing Grand Theft Auto 5 was the about an hour of gameplay where one guy goes and visits the pun named tech company that is just
Jizzle.
Facebook. It's like Jizzle
or something.
And to steal like a fucking USB stick or whatever. And then like toward the end of that hour, Trevor was talking gleefully about like cutting a woman in a bunch of pieces and putting her in the trunk. And I was just like, I don't want to help these people.
Yeah. Why? Like, why? Yeah. And you want me to strap in to do this for a while?
Like I don't want to help these people.
Yeah.
They suck. Like I'm not allergic to violence. I'm not allergic to like, I mean, there's gruesome violence I can take in a game, but like, I don't want to help those people.
Yeah.
So if it's integral to that, then I think it's really important. If it's something like monkeys fighting big stuff, I'm like, I think we can have two conversations.
Yeah, I think we have two different conversations about it. One of them can be about the video game, and then the other conversation can be about the circumstances under which the video game was made, created, and received. Like,
which, by the way, this is not where I was like 8 years ago. Like 8 years ago, I was not here. I was very much in the mode of like, you cannot separate art from artist. You cannot have a conversation without saying, and now I'm like, I think it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who can say?
I don't know. I might be wrong.
I also don't know. I think it's just like,
I'm more of, I just remember when, I bring this up a lot, I feel like, in some spaces, but I just remember when Fanbyte was talking about covering Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, I'm like, it was one of the biggest stories of the year.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest games that came out that year. And the idea that we weren't going to talk about it is insane to me.
Yeah.
I still think you could talk about a thing and also say, by the way, like, these people suck ass.
Yes.
But to not acknowledge that something exists is very odd to me. Which is, I think, what some people want to happen with certain games when they don't meet the allegiance that they feel like they adhere to or something. It's very odd to me.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
I just don't know. I also think that sometimes it's not worth it. So like for me, the thing that I like particularly got me about Hogwarts, the Hogwarts Legacy moment, and I don't even remember what my stance
by the way,
was
that game
on it
sucks.
At the time. That's exactly right. The property sucks.
It sucks ass, and the game sucks, and the property.
So
sucks.
It's like, yes, it was the biggest story, but also like, who cares? Like who cares? Sometimes
I don't know.
But like I don't know. I think
like a lot of people cared.
No, for sure. But like I think as like for the same reason I think it's important to be able to curate experiences or to be able to curate like these shows, right, that we watch, like Gamescom and Summer Game Fest and whatever. Like for the same reason I think that it is important to curate those such that the people watching them feel like their time is being used effectively.
Right.
I don't think it's particularly useful for anybody to read anything about Hogwarts Legacy because it doesn't matter. Like, I personally don't think it makes a difference. So like, I don't think that anyone who is reading a thing that we are making is going to lose anything by not hearing about Hogwarts Legacy from us specifically, because
it's an echo chamber.
Yes. Like, they're going to hear about what they're going to hear about Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't know. It makes me think about audience. Like, I'm like, I know my audience, how they feel about something. And I'm maybe being a little bit of a hypocrite, because like, it's not like I'm always constantly playing stuff that I know I'm not going to like.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really, when I set up my review scale to be like, well, there's no, there's yes. And the vast majority of things fall into yes. I said that out loud and basically realized it's because like, well, I mostly play things I think I'm going to like.
Yeah.
I don't normally go, I'm just deeply curious about this. Like I had no desire to play Hogwarts because I didn't want to give those fucking people money.
Yes.
But I also think it's weird to not talk about it. And I'm like, I don't know what to like.
Well, where's the middle?
I don't know. I'm realizing I'm talking my way through it because I don't know. Because I'm having these thoughts about Wukong and about Star Wars Outlaws and about some of the bigger releases that have had these like, and eventually it'll be Assassin's Creed, which feels like again a battleground that I couldn't give less of a shit about because it's an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm just like, well, I don't really fucking care about that, so I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna go like, well, I'm definitely gonna buy this one. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna do that because it's still the same fucking game. Yeah,
it's still gonna be an Assassin's.
It's still the same thing, and so there will be this weird thin divide later this year where people like me will be very frustrated and bummed out and sickened by the anti-woke dipshits that are saying, oh, it's because you put a black person in this game that this game didn't do X, Y, or Z. And to sit there and not be able to defend it with my whole heart because I also don't fucking care about it. It's like, it's so weird to me that we're in this like allegiance-based economy right now, and I guess I'm maybe trying to figure out ways to like remove myself or remove the site from that. Mm-hmm. But I also think you're right. I think in terms of Hogwarts Legacy specifically, it felt like there was more at stake, and also I still didn't give a shit about it. It's just such a weird thing to have like a thing that is a battleground that you couldn't give less of a shit about.
Yeah. And it's also, I also struggle with it personally because sometimes it's so the other side, the incorrect, the side that I have identified as being incorrect, as it were, is so clearly wrong that I'm like, why are we entertaining this?
Why are we entertaining it?
Why are we entertaining it at all? Like no aspect of this is worthwhile. The thing that people are fighting over is not worthwhile. It is not worth the wasted breath.
Right.
Obviously, the people who are being racist are wrong.
Obviously.
Right.
Obviously.
So like, why are we?
And there's no amount of like energy you can spend.
No, exactly. To convince them.
Well, actually, historically, they don't care.
They don't care. It doesn't matter.
Care.
So like for me, that labor is like, okay, well, I'm not going to, why do it?
Right.
Who is it helping? The only person whose time is wasting is mine. And then I guess someone who agrees with me already is going to read it.
Right.
And be like, wow, cogent, smart. Thank you. What a great way to say this thing everyone already knew. The racists were bad. That's crazy, dog.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Who could have fucking thunk?
Take that to X.
Yeah, take you straight there. And like, that's why I think that like, it's really important to have new, like, if you're going to say something about a video game that is like one of these, that it's like a destined to be a conversation piece, it needs to be legitimately interesting and have a take. The take cannot be the sides of the argument that people are having on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. But
and that is most of it.
And increasingly, the takes are, this is not interesting enough to even have this conversation. Mm-hmm. Which like, I also agree with, but now I'm seeing those so frequently that I'm like, oh, we're seeing a new side of this emerge that I don't know I'm not sure is even worth saying
almost
out
like
loud.
It's sick
also
out there, John.
And I think it is sick out there.
It seems pretty.
I think it is sick out there. Because the more I talk about it, the more it sounds like I'm talking myself into like, well, just talk about it if the game is good and talk about it objectively. And I'm like, graphics. Well, hold on, wait a second. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't know. I do feel like a lot of these conversations are poisoned from the womb. And I'm like, I guess we just get over that by just confidently talking about it without pretense. But but that's not this conversation, as I'm very insecure and vulnerable about how to talk about these things. And eventually maybe I'll get there. It just made me think of Shannon Liao just posted 10 minutes before we started recording an article that like I don't really understand. It was basically saying like, well, Chinese nationalists and the anti-woke mob have basically caused Wukong to break all sorts of sales records. And I'm like, and I read the whole thing and I'm like, you've actually not given me a shred of evidence that that's true.
Yeah.
Like a shred of it that it's true.
What if it's just
like I'm the conspiratorial person that's like, what if they just bought a bunch of Steam accounts and did that thing? Which I said as a joke like a week and a half ago.
Oh.
And a wink joke.
Yeah.
But also it just seems like maybe a lot of Chinese gamers just picked this up. Yeah. And I'm just like, they didn't read the IGN article.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't know what's happening,
and they don't, or they don't care. Yes. And if they don't care, that's like that also sucks. But like, I don't know if it means that they're nationalist or anti-woke.
Yeah,
and
I think they are just playing,
and not just normal people that don't read about this shit. Yes. Like I feel like a lot of Hogwarts Legacy people were like, "Oh, see, like transphobia wins. Like all these people are transphobes about this." It's like, dog, like they don't even know that J.K. Rowling has these views.
That's exactly
like they have no idea.
Yeah, like it's just
they don't know. They don't care.
Wars
thing. Yeah.
Sorry, can you talk for 2 seconds because
I can talk for 2 seconds.
Reading Slack, even though information is listed directly fucking for them in multiple fucking locations. If you fucking use this goddamn fucking website.
Jordan, cut this out. Jordan?
No, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to. Okay. But anyway, we can kind of leave it there, but it's just one of those things where I read that and I was like, it's an interesting idea. I just don't know if it's true or if we have any sort of evidence to really point to that. And I'm just really tired of video games becoming a battleground for some of the dumbest arguments on earth. I also posted a frustration with Castlevania being called a Metroidvania by IGN's social team, and it's my most engaged tweet ever. And I'm devastated by that because one, it has made people believe that this is that genre labels are something I actually care about. And two, I'm seeing genuinely some of the dumbest people on earth respond to me. What was your most viral tweet?
I can
remember.
Well, John, you gotta keep stalling, bud.
I'm gonna keep stalling, and I'm gonna imagine that it was Niki.
I think it's the one. I think it's the one where that woman threw that chair at that other woman in the Waffle House, and I said, "This is like seeing Neo in Trinity in the Matrix."
Oh man, that was a really good one. God, that might have been the best video on the internet ever.
That was great.
That was a really, really, really good video. Remember the seaside ship, the chair fight with those races?
Oh yes, that was the anniversary of that was recently.
That was really fun. I enjoyed that one as well. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Anyway, folks, the reason you don't call. Okay, let's say Scream 4 comes out. Okay. And then someone asked me, well, what's Scream 4 like? I would not say it's a Scream like. I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't say it's a Scream
because it doesn't actually describe what it is.
Right.
So
because you can't use the word in the definition.
When you go, here's a modern Castlevania, and you go, well, it's a Metroidvania. I'm like, hey, dog, you can't do that.
You can't use the word in the definition of the word.
You can't do that. And a lot of people got mad at me because they're like, hey, did you know that the old Castlevania games didn't play like that? As if I'm not 40 fucking years old. I know. I was there when the magic was written. You idiot. Anyway.
I'm back.
That's amazing. Oh, good. That was great because at that moment I completely ran out of steam. That's great.
You asked me what my most engaged tweet is. You know the best way to find that out now?
By going to clout.com.
Yes, that's right. No, you go to your own Twitter from an incognito window.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Because Twitter doesn't show you your tweet, it doesn't show, if you're logged out, it doesn't show you their real timeline. It shows you their most
engaged. You're right. You're right.
So the best way to figure out what account's best, this is a little social media hack. The best way to figure it out is to look at it via incognito. I was correct. It is the Trinity in Neo from the Matrix, a flick I haven't seen. But that reference is that one. The second most one is where is a quote tweet of an AJ Plus. I don't know what that is. Is it news?
Mm-hmm.
That's news. Al Jazeera, is that them? What's an AJ?
Al Jazeera? Yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe.
Okay, well, there's them. And then Elon Musk was getting sued, and then I said, I can't believe the man whose familial wealth comes from an apartheid era emerald mine has a racially segregated workplace.
Great.
So yeah, that's mine. Did you find yours? Oh, it's the
I
one
did. Yeah. No. It was Taika Waititi and Rita Ora at the 2024 Met Gala, and I said, me turning on the Met Gala as soon as I finished filing a police report regarding my stolen sofa and curtains. Oh my God. And you kind of have to see that. You kind of have to see that one.
Yeah, you got to look it up. Or remember. Maybe you remember.
Oh, gosh.
You had a great back-to-back. 3 days in a row, you had bangers. May 6th, 7th, I guess and 9th, you were going crazy.
I guess I was kind of on one in May.
You were on the juice.
Okay, so I don't remember this one at all. June 22nd, 2021. There's a New York Post that says heart attack survivor who had 12 energy drinks a day aims to ban sales to kids. And I just said, I'll just say there's kind of an ocean between buying a Monster at a corner store and downing 12 of them a day. But my heart didn't explode, so what do I know? Yeah, I don't even remember that one at all.
That's funny.
And then my tweets about Deadlock, which is very recent.
Yeah, it's really recent. That's
wow, great. Incredible.
But yeah, there's a little social media hack.
That is a social media hack. Congrats, everyone! Now you're learning from. Welcome to Nikki Grayson's masterclass.
Yes.
Now it's time for you to send us
to the ad break. Welcome to the ad break.
Welcome to the ad break. This episode is brought to you by Monster Energy.
Wow.
If you want to drown your fears, all fear that you have, drink 12 Monster Energy just a day, says this guy from New York. Thank you, Monster Energy.
Thank you so much, Monster Energy. Where can people go if they want to support this website?
They can go to vgbs.com/join and join the Hive. You can ask us all sorts of questions, including the ones that we'll answer on this episode. We have a few. And then, you can join. There are a couple different tiers. Listen, output on the website itself has been kind of dog shit lately, but that's going to change very soon because I'm starting to work again. I'm moving.
Yeah, you've had other things.
I've had the longest move in the world, though, it feels like. I don't think anyone's moved for as long as I have.
That can't be true. That's not true. But
well, maybe like Odysseus had like the longest move ever.
Or like anyone on the Oregon Trail.
They had long moves. I haven't had dysentery yet.
Not yet. You could get some.
I could.
Can you buy dysentery online?
Can you buy
fresh?
I don't want to Google that.
I will. Fresh.
All right.
Dysentery.
Fresh dysentery.
No.
Inconclusive.
Doesn't seem like you can. Also known as traveler's diarrhea.
We have diarrhea at home. I want traveler's diarrhea.
Traveler's diarrhea may begin suddenly during your trip or shortly after you return home. Thank you so much, Mayo Clinic.
Thank you so much, Mayo Clinic.
Thank you. Most people improve within 1 to 2 days without treatment. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that. All these dumbasses on the Oregon Trail dying. And it's like, without treatment, I'll be fine. That's according to the Mayo Clinic.
They were weaker back then.
They were weak-willed. I
would have been able to make it.
You think so? The whole way.
Mm-hmm. Right now? Yeah, easy.
I would not have been able to.
I would be able to, if I was on the East Coast, I would be able to make it to Oregon right now without getting dysentery, yeah.
Ann and I were like crying, laughing. We were on this like train tour in Alaska. And the train tour is basically like it was weird. It's basically a tour of the people who built the train tracks.
Oh, so of all of the people who died on the way?
Yes. So like,
okay, awesome.
Like it was basically about like the most dangerous pass in Alaska, where people are basically like, they would spend all day climbing a mountain to put one piece of rail down, and then they would basically go down
and then they would
do
die.
It again, essentially. Yeah. And like we were cracking up so hard trying to envision like at which points they would just abandon me in the journey. We were just like, yeah, they'd leave you here, or like, oh, you would have absolutely died at this bend. It's so true. It's like, yeah, I would have been fucking toast completely.
It'll always stick with me, and it's so boring. It's not even a particularly funny joke, but when my friends who lived in Colorado, her dad was like, they picked me up from the airport, and my friend's dad was like, oh yeah, people settled in Colorado because they saw the mountains and said, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's really funny.
That's really funny.
It's really funny. And like, that's so fair. I get it. I also wouldn't want to go up and over.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, like I'm good. Gucci.
I'm so good. I don't need to do this. Yeah. That's none of my business.
No. Well, that's the ad break. Thank you so much.
That's the ad break.
VGBs. Oh.
VGBs.com/join. See that Annapurna is going to be funding half of Control 2.
Yes. I don't know how this works. Straight up. I don't know where the money comes from. How do you fund half of one video? Like, how do you sell the rights to half of one video game?
I think
haven't they been working on it for a while?
Yeah, so I think that is a really that part right there. The fact that they've been working on it for a little while, they've had Alan Wake 2 out for a little while, and they still need money to finish it. That tells me that, reading between the lines, I don't think it's that difficult, that it is expensive. They do not want to take a risk on a single player game that's not going to recoup its finances within the first year. These games are slow to recoup their finances. So, and they want to keep it without laying people off, which I think is cool. But what they're having to do is they're having to make deals.
Yeah.
And this deals with Annapurna. Annapurna is going to fund half of the development cost and also take the option for TV, film, and podcast rights.
And that honestly makes sense. Yeah. So like this is not at all a like the shade that I'm throwing is not because I don't think that it makes a lot of sense.
You're about to say something that's so true, but keep going.
Yeah. I just don't get why you're waiting, why you needed it to happen now in the middle of development, presumably, and not at the beginning of development. Like something, like you said, something has happened where they looked at the numbers and the numbers didn't line up. And I'm like, oh, but, and maybe, right. Maybe there is a thing. Alan Wake 2 sold well, but that's relative to other Remedy games. which sell low. They sell well, but they sell low. Alan Wake 2, very expensive video game.
Very expensive. Produce. That game is really, production value of that game is off the charts.
Yes, and presumably Control 2 will be similarly expensive.
Because, it was crazy so, like, in 2019.
This all makes sense. And I'm like legitimately excited for like the avenues of all of the teams that are going to like take over the rights to make what's the transmedia stuff based on this. Annapurna seems like the team to do it. So like good job finding the good money. Like instead of finding shitty bad money, like finding good money on this makes a lot of sense. Because I feel like isn't Remedy still also making that shitty, the game, that part of the game that's out? Crossfire? Is that what that's called?
Crossfire!
Yeah, that. They're still making the single player for that, allegedly, right? Is that still coming out or no?
I don't know what you're talking about, actually, so I'm going to look it up.
I feel like the multiplayer for this game
Crossfire X. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
The multiplayer came out for it like it's
co-developed by Smilegate. Yep.
Which can't make a video game and save their lives.
Right. Yep.
Is my understanding, having played this one that they made. It's awful, truly terrible. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know. I'm like excited for this team, but I just have questions about money. And that's just because I don't know how business works.
But I think you're on the nose. Like I think you're right. Like this does raise questions about the money aspect of Remedy and kind of how they want to do things. And it seems like what they want to do is they want to take things to the edge and then make a deal to save the next 3 years for them. And it's like, that makes sense. And if you can keep doing it and keep being successful, then it doesn't feel like it's a risky proposition. But I wonder if one of these things were to not go well, which, like, by the way, like Quantum Break was not a big success. Like that was a big transmedia swing and it was not a hit. So Remedy has definitely had misses in this vein. So I think it feels like they're firing on all cylinders. Like Alan Wake 2 was cool. Control was one of my favorite games of the last decade. But yeah, it feels a little risky to bring in other folks.
And I do wonder though, from their perspective, if they're like, well, if we just start treating these the same way movie studios and television studios do, which is that's how they do it. It's like there's multiple production companies will come together to make a thing. They will get distributed by another company that sometimes is all in-house and sometimes they are pulling from external. So if their shift moving forward is that it will be half us, half we find a distributor, interesting way to do game development, I think.
Totally. Yep.
Kind of makes sense considering they're mostly making weird TV. Like, it kind of, I get it. It just feels off because I think there aren't that many deals that are like this one. Especially for studios who have made games as high profile and critically acclaimed as Alan Wake 2 and Control.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting move. We'll see kind of what ramifications it has. Like, it feels like if it was just announced, none of these things with Annapurna are actually like underway.
For sure.
But so it might be a long time.
Yeah, I don't think anything Control related is coming, at least for another 2 years.
And I mean, like my most uncharitable take about the Control and Alan Wake 2 stuff is that, like, I really enjoy a lot of the live action snippets of those games, but they are meta contextually interesting and not interesting in a sense of like, I would tell my mom to watch these cutscenes. Does that make sense?
No, for sure.
Like, so Annapurna makes a lot of sense to come in and actually make stuff that I would tell my mom, like, oh, this is a spooky, weird, like X-Files-y thing. Like, you like that, so you'll like this show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and, like a 6-episode FX drama.
Sure.
Like about Control, like as produced by Annapurna, that makes sense.
Right.
Yep. And like, that's why I think it makes sense on all sides. Like, I'm excited about it. I don't even watch movies or TV, but like, I'm excited about this conceptually. Because it seems like it's an influx of good money. And then the things that Annapurna is getting out of it are things that I think they will do well with.
Yep.
So good for them, or maybe bad for them.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good
for them.
Yeah. I think it'll be good.
If Annapurna wants to acquire 50% of me for my life rights,
what do you think? What do you think that's worth?
Let me log into Nelnet. So yeah, I don't know. They can call me.
They can call me. Sure. I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be an interesting, like, for a service for Annapurna to be like, here's what we think 50% of your worth is. That would be so funny.
Would you rather find out what 50% of your worth is, or would you rather find out the day that you're dying?
The worth thing.
The worth? You would rather find out
worth? Because I feel like I could do something with that, you know?
But it's
like, what if it's really high? Oh, by the end of my life?
Like your worth at the end of your life. Both of them are at terminal.
Okay.
At the terminus of your life. Would you rather find out how much you are worth?
I mean, I think
when you're dead or when you're dying exactly.
Probably when you're dying, because the idea of them looking at you said, you're worth about 12 cents when you die. I'd be like, yo, things get really dark, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
It's got to
maybe I feel like I'd still be able to do something about that. I'm worth 12 cents, so I got to get my shit together.
Yeah. No, I think it's got to be day you die.
Okay.
Day you die is so freeing because you can't die other ways. You can't die before that.
Yeah, but like, you could.
No, in this world, you can't die before that.
In this world, you can't die before that.
Yeah. So that means you could jump out of a
indestructible.
plane.
You're indestructible until they say it.
That is correct.
Well, that would be fun. Well, that would be great. I would love that. As long as it's not like 5 p.m. today.
But that's the fear.
Yeah, that's
right?
the thing.
Is that you get it and it says it's 6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, fuck.
Well, that's 6 weeks of fun, though.
Yeah.
6 weeks of running through a train or something. Or
your time of death is as soon as you finish reading.
That'd be incredible. That'd be so. All right, so I got to get this out really fast. So your time of death is man.
Sorry.
Oopsie doodle.
Did you play did anything else happen in video game?
Well, I started to play Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door.
That game's good.
In earnest for the first time yesterday. That game is like beautiful and really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like they fucking nailed it. They should
you know what? They should make another one of those.
They should make another one of those and not fuck around with it.
No. They should
don't fuck around.
Just
make a charming role-playing game. Just do that. Don't do that. Do that. Do not make some sort of game where I've got to do a fucking loop-de-loop maze around a thing, and then I hated that shit.
Yeah, no, you're not going to invent Combat 2, Nintendo.
You're not going to do it.
It's not going to happen. Just make another one. Just make
another one.
I have been trying to figure out how to get Pokemon Coliseum running in widescreen 4K. And I don't actually think I can do it widescreen, but I think I can get it running in 4K. Which is exciting for me because I'm excited to replay through that video game Pokemon Coliseum.
So what are you doing to play through it at 4K?
I found some texture packs.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got to download those. And then I'd have to read the tutorial on how to put them in Dolphin.
So Pokemon Coliseum 1 and also Pokemon Coliseum 2?
There's XD Gale of Darkness, which
I'm thinking of Pokemon Stadium. Never mind.
Different. Confusing, right?
Yeah.
How foolish of them. Now, here's the thing. Now, they aren't Pokemon Coliseum is not a sequel to Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 because there is an entire mode in Pokemon Coliseum that is just Pokemon Stadium.
Okay.
And then there is a sequel to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness called Pokemon Battle Revolution that is closer to being a true direct sequel to Pokemon Stadium 2 than it is to being a sequel because it doesn't have the RPG elements that Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness do. Anyway.
So what's the loop of Coliseum? Is it just
a Pokemon game?
Just a Pokemon? Oh, wow.
It's just a Pokemon game, except you're stealing Pokemon from other people because they've been poisoned.
Wow.
They're spirits. Oh, yeah, you snag balls. So they're shadow Pokemon, and you gotta snag
Pokemon snag ball.
Yeah, you gotta snag them. And you just take the Pokemon away from the people because you are holier than thou, as deemed by Nintendo. So you just you just take their Pokemon, and then you have to run around in a circle to cleanse them.
The text at the beginning, the text wrap is just like, "You are the most morally superior person."
You're
in
right,
Pokemon. You're right. Now go steal. Don't worry about being wrong. You're doing good. Yeah.
And then you purify the shadow Pokemon, and then it's difficult. Like, it is a difficult one of these. And then there is also as part of this, there is a mod called Grand Coliseum, which adds some Pokemon in and adds rebalances some of the teams, and it kind of rebalances the game a little bit. So the ramp is better. And like the process by which you purify the Pokemon takes a really fucking long time and sucks to do. So this, like, the mod like shortens that time and
cuts that down.
Yeah. So that's the version I'm gonna play.
Well, that's exciting. I love tinkering with stuff.
Yeah, I just wish I had a computer, you know?
Yeah, your computer's been sick, huh?
I just looked down at it and I realized that both of the side panels are off of it.
So it's kind of just getting...
It looks like a jalopy.
So it's just kind of like getting raw dog by dust right now.
Yeah, dude. Like, and who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
It'll stop turning on eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
But then
I went to Nebraska Furniture Mart yesterday because that's where we're getting our carpet. And Nebraska Furniture, for those who don't know, is like at least twice the size of an IKEA.
That's crazy.
Which is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
And I went to the section that they sell like high-end gaming PCs.
What?
In the middle of the store. Very weird. Yeah, it's very strange.
Did you buy one for me?
No.
Wow, thanks, Sean.
Oh. Thought about it. I was
thanks.
Like, maybe I'll buy one for Nikki. But I was like, what a weird thing to do is just spend $1,100 on
Listen, I would not complain, but
I know you
here's the thing. I'm now on NebraskaFurnitureMarket.com. They've got a lot of stuff at this place.
They have a lot of
They
stuff
sell food?
Sell Subway. They have Steve's Candies.
Interesting.
They have a wine bar.
Interesting. Now, what's on that wine list? Did you check? Sorry, I have a 1,000,001 questions about fucking Nebraska Furniture Mart now.
It's
are you going to take me when I come?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, we would have a really good time, I think.
Great.
Yeah. No, they're just like, Dallas is weird. Dallas is just imagine someone about 10 years ago was like, what if we just made grand malls everywhere? And then they've built like 8 different malls where it's like, what if we put a Ferris wheel outside this mall? And it's just like,
great. Awesome.
It's basically just that. So Nebraska Furniture is in a place called Grandscape, which is one of these like communities that is basically a carnival.
Yeah. That sounds great. I'm sure it's crazy to live there, but that to me as a person who doesn't live there sounds great. Sounds awesome. Right.
Yeah. Like Ann and I live in the same universe of like every once in a while it's really fun to just go dip into that. And
see what the other half lives.
This is weird. And then go home. No, Nebraska furniture. So it had like, there was, rosé, there was sparkling, there was white, there was red. It was a pretty like bare list, but it was
any skin contacts?
Huh?
Any orange wines?
No.
Do you know what an orange wine is?
No, I don't know what an orange wine.
Orange wine is wine made with white grapes that they leave the skin on. So they're also called skin contacts. They're the only kind of wine I like. I'm trying to learn how to like wine.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to like wine. When they give me a white wine, if it's too acidic, then it makes me feel like I have heartburn, but coming the other fucking direction. So I'm like, I don't want that. And then every time I have a red wine, I think about the time that I drank an entire bottle of 2 Buck Chuck when I was in college. I did a bunch of fucking scorpion death drops onto my couch, and then I puked everywhere 35 minutes later. So I can't have red wine either. So I've been taught about orange/skin contact wines.
I can't describe to you how insane this headline is. Orange wine. What you need to know about skin contact wine. Like this is so, why would you, there's gotta be a different name. Skin contact wine is horrifying.
It's also, they are only sometimes orange. Okay. Because I thought when I saw orange wine on menu many times, I was like, oh, they can make it out of oranges too? That's crazy. Probably still tastes like shit. And honestly, some of them do. And I think it's clutch that they'll let you just taste stuff. I forget that you can do that because I'm afraid of interacting with people and being an inconvenience. The last handful of places I've been to, and I need to be so deeply clear, listener, John, I am not saying that I would like to try these things. Jess is saying that I want to try these things because the idea of me saying I want to try this wine is impossible for me. I can't do it. But they're like, please give us, can we taste the wine? And then everyone's very happy to do it.
Well, can't do it. Do you know what the real move is?
What's the real move?
The in-between move is to ask so many questions about it that the person goes, do you want to just fucking try it?
Oh, that happened to us yesterday.
That's what Ann does. Ann's like, this lemon basil drink, is it too sweet? No, it's not too sweet. Is it like really dry though? Is it like refreshing? Is it, so it's a little sweet, but it's not, oh sure, yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, and then it's like that the bartender will be like, you can have a sip, and if you don't like it, I will make you another thing.
Yes. Beat for beat. It's not their juice. That's the thing that I have to remember is that like it isn't their juice. They can, someone else is buying that juice for them.
Right. Yeah.
And making it for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, so you've never heard of orange wine. So
no, I didn't see skin. If I had seen, believe me, if I had seen skin contact wine on a fucking menu in a Nebraska furniture mart, I probably would have left. Because I wouldn't have known what that was. Now I know what it is.
And then it did make me go, I guess I have no fucking idea how wine is made. Because I was like, I guess they peel every grape.
I didn't understand it either. I'm like, well, I guess they filter it out. I guess they crush them and then filter it out.
But it's not like it's chunky. That's what I'm saying. Right. Filter what? It's not like it's chunky.
You know what? I don't know how wine's made.
I thought they just put it in a fucking bucket because I saw the wine lady video. I was about to say
yes. The extent of what I know is from the grape stomping lady.
Yes.
And Sideways with Paul Giamatti. That's it. That's all I know.
But clearly there's other steps.
Right.
Where they peel the grapes. But what's peeling the grapes? That's why I'm like, there's no way. Even in the past, there's no way they were peeling each grape by hand.
What's peeling Gilbert grape?
So where's the question? What are the questions this week?
We have a few Hive questions this week. If you want to ask a Hive question, you could go to bgbs.com/join. You can join the Hive, and then you can go to our Discord and ask us questions. One. This is from Bone Chug Actual. Do you get the impression PlayStation would be satisfied if Astro Bot sells well, but falls short of the numbers their tentpole franchises typically do?
Well, no.
I think the implication here is that like a lot of people don't think Astro Bot's going to sell like God of War.
Well, because it won't.
It won't. I agree.
Like, that's just the thing. It will not. And I think Sony knows that.
I think Sony knows that.
That's why I was having a hang up on the question.
I think Sony is dumb in a lot of ways, but I don't think they're that dumb.
No.
I think they know that this is not going to do those numbers.
And I also think that they will have perhaps intentionally set the number pretty low so that when they can say, it outpaced our predictions.
Right.
Of selling 35 copies.
We
thought this game was going to sell 35 copies, or hypothetically maybe 700 copies on the personal computer in the first week. I think they'll have their numbers, and I think they know with that one what they have. Also, like, I think that game is going to be in every single commercial that you see for the PlayStation 5 between now and
January 1st.
Yes. Yeah. So like, get used to seeing this fucker. Because he's going to be everywhere. Like, he's going to be everywhere. Because they really are trying to sell more PlayStation. They want to sell more PS5s more than anything in the world right now. So, like, he's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, he's going to be everywhere.
But I
think they've probably calibrated their internals to really
and especially after Concord, like, that number got like 10% knocked off the top of it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Week over week.
Yep. So, great segue. Eli asks, thinking about Concord and Somerville, what Massachusetts town would you name a game after?
Seekonk. So you get in there and the sun goes away, which is crazy. You get off the highway and the sun, you're like, well, the sun was up.
The sun was up.
The sun was up, but now it's gray. And that's weird. And then it's kind of an open world. It's a Gone Home. It's a walking simulator.
Okay.
But it's like it's the scale of like a Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
It's big. And it's just basically impossible to get anywhere because there's no sidewalks. It's what if there was the city from Cars was around. And you make your way to the dispensary and the Target. And
it's the Conk where you would get your weed? Is that
because you couldn't buy weed in Rhode Island, and Seekonk was the closest place. And then you would cross the border, and then you would pay God knows how much money for the most mid weed you've ever bought in your fucking life. It's so sad being from Massachusetts. Like, it just is fucking tough. Did you see that article? Someone close to Jennifer Lopez was like, there is a darkness to Ben Affleck that is like too much or something. And then it's like, yeah, dog, he's from Massachusetts.
He's from Massachusetts.
Like, it just fucking sucks there.
He loves Dunkin' Donuts. Like, it's something to be proud of.
Yes, like it just sucks there. It is not surprising that it is like that. What's your favorite message?
Every single time I see like Ben Affleck or Matt Damon or fucking Casey Affleck like doing some bit about Duncan or like Boston sports teams, it's like, this is like me going on like The View and being like, I love to fucking lick the floor of a come and go bathroom. I love it.
It's the same.
It's my favorite thing.
It's like, what are you like? That's not culture.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
It's nothing. Worcester. Because it would be so funny to create a round of like influencer reach outs where none of the influencers know how to say Worcester.
That's huge.
And so they just have like, so what's up, guys? I'm playing Worcester today. and like, you know, it's like I've put a couple hours in. I don't really get it. I don't really understand the accent. And they keep calling it something else. But Worcester will come into it at some point.
Okay, but hold on. Hold on, though. A video game called Worcester. And it's like a tower defense or a reverse tower defense, perhaps. It's a Muso where you are trying to steal your enemy's war chest, except it's all abandoned buildings in Worcester, Massachusetts.
That's pretty good. Worcester. That's pretty good. I like that. Wow. I can't believe we're game developers.
Yeah, I know. That's how it works, right?
That's how it works.
Welcome to the brand new episode of Cool Games Inc., everybody. Thank you so much.
with Griff and McElroy. And I've loaded all these really cool mods in the Skyrim. Thanks. Oh man. All right, this is from Lovik. What IP do you want the Fortnite machine to incorporate next?
It would be so, as a US President's Pack would fucking bang.
Oh my god.
A US President's Pack would go
so
hard. It'll never happen.
Being able to get JFK and Lincoln in the map shooting each other would be choice.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be so fun.
It would go so hard. And I'm honestly, it's not. It's just
you
bad.
Get the convertible.
Yes,
it is bad.
It's all there. It's just bad taste is the old, because it's not like the presidents. You can do whatever you want to the presidents.
Yeah, right,
but it's just bad. It's just because it's bad taste.
It's just because
the woke mob. Yeah.
the woke
mob won't let you put JFK in Fortnite anymore. Because they say he'll get headshotted by War Machine. JFK's estate said that we don't want Ariana Grande to be able to snipe JFK from 150 meters away.
Yeah, we don't want the xenomorph to be able to eat the parts of JFK that are left in the convertible. That would not be good. Oh man. I think it would be cool. I think it'd be cool if the Teletubbies were in it.
That's good.
It won't for the same reason. I think it won't.
Sure,
but like it would be interesting.
But I do think that there are some licenses where I think the conversation RE brand safety is kind of like whatever, like there is like a like.
I mean, there was a shooting at an Ariana Grande concert.
Yeah.
So they obviously did that.
What's the point that you're trying to make here?
Well, someone on her brand team did the calculus and decided it didn't matter.
And it didn't fucking matter. Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't matter because it feels like there's a gulf between real violence and dropping onto an island with the banana and tomato man.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so far away that like Disney at this point, and I do think that this is going to be the lid off. Disney is going to be... Jordan,
do me a favor. In the episode when I say there's a shooting at an Ariana Grande concert, just cut it off there and I don't include any of the rest of this conversation. Just end it there. And then for the bonus, we'll put it up on the feed. You can hear the rest.
Fuck, but the public, that's funny.
He just hears me in my career by saying... like it's breaking news. Well, there's a shooting at the Ariana Grande concert. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But I think the lid is like they're going to put a gun in Cruella de Vil's hands.
I think Pixar is the next frontier. Like,
like
Buzz Lightyear, like Buzz Lightyear and Woody and Mike Wazowski and
the blue one
and Merida.
Yes.
Merida going like, hey, my fate, and then just start sniping people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
And she could turn into a bear.
That's great. You've never played Fortnite.
No.
What's the next question?
Next question is I feel like we've actually been asked this question 4 or 5 weeks in a row, but I do have a different answer. Video game adaptation, movie adaptations. Okay. Well,
yep.
Video game adaptations are back in vogue. What's the worst and what's the best video game movie ever made? I'm only going to talk about one, and it's the Double Dragon movie. If you've never seen the Double Dragon movie, you should go see the Double Dragon movie because it's basically like, all right, yeah, Jimmy and Billy Lee, they're brothers, and like they gotta save Marion, except that now it's post-apocalyptic Los Angeles. The smog has ruined the city and everyone is burning trash they find on the street for fuel in their cars.
Yes.
And then a guy named Boa Bobo gets mutated, and he's so roided out that he gets sad that no one likes him anymore.
Oh.
And then like they befriend him by the end of the film.
Oh, that's good. That sounds great.
Yeah, and it's really very strange, and I like it a lot. So go watch that one.
Super Mario Brothers movie starring Chris Pratt. Great flick for the whole family. Go see it once, maybe twice, maybe 3, maybe 4 times. And maybe for your 5th watch it on twitter.com. It's got all your favorites. Charlie Day.
Now, Nikki's just talking about something that they did.
It's got Jack Black. It's got...
now, you went on one of those as a date. Have you ever? Did you ever talk to that person again? Okay, great.
Well, so again after that, yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, but it's.
Am I still talking to that person? No.
Okay.
No idea what she's up to. Hopefully, good.
Okay. Even though she was the reason you saw that movie again for some reason.
Yes, I'm shaking my head. Yes.
Okay. The Mario movie. Great answer. Fucking awesome answer. All right, last question from Liv. Thanks, Liv. Hey, it's Max from Maxim Magazine. Oh. And even though summer 2004 is wrapping up, I gotta ask, T or A, bro?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Max. I'm gonna have to say A.
Okay.
Personally. Yeah. I think I used to be T and now I'm A. I think I've evolved. Mm-hmm. I think T is a small person's game. Easy, like a smooth-brained person.
Okay, so like it's too easy? Like T is too easy?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you mean. Big fan of T. Huge fan of T. Big fan of T.
But like, it's lazy, isn't it?
But it's kind of like, I will say there's a wide variety of tea that I think is lovely.
Yeah.
A wide variety.
We're talking about tomatoes and apples, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there's heirloom, there's grape, there's
and then you've got the Granny Smith and the Honey Crisp.
And I think with A's, to me, it's really about the Honey Crisp. For me, it's
the sound it makes when you bite into it, I think, is really critical.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's got to be crisp, juicy. You want it to be wet. You want it to come out liquid.
Now, Liv also did add this. The letters can stand for whatever word you want, but you must compare something that starts with the letter T to something that starts with the letter A.
Oh.
So tomatoes and apples.
So, yeah. So I didn't even, John didn't even read that part.
I didn't even read that, and you nailed it. Congratulations. I like tits personally. What's up? Nikki's giving a freeze frame thumbs up, and that's actually the last honey hive question of the week. That was the last one, and I agree that apples are the best.
I think that butt is.
I don't like tomatoes, huh?
I said I think butt is good.
I know. I agree.
I'm changing. I go back and forth. It depends.
Are you looking at butts right now, like in Larry Crown?
No, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at our Discord, and yesterday Jordan sent a tweet from someone named Xbox Joker from the Twitter handle at Xbox Nation 7603, and the tweet says PlayStation is jealous of Xbox right now. So that's really good.
So discuss. So discuss, everyone. Jealous of Xbox. PlayStation jealous of Xbox. This has been a fun one. Thanks, Nikki, for hanging out.
Thank you, John Warren.
Wow, we did it. My energy level was better this week. Thank God.
Yeah, you did it. Proud of you.
I wasn't closing a house today, so that was good.
That's huge. And ideally, you won't have to close another house ever.
Ever. Let's say ever. Why not?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Hey, if you want to support the website and join the Hive, you can do so at vgbs.com/join. and you can join that right now. I hope you enjoyed B Week over on giantbomb.com. That was fun.
Yes.
To check in on those things, and go watch or listen to Bombcast 855. That's the one that Nikki and I are both on.
We talk about video games more on that one than we did on this one. Sorry.
That is true. Yeah, sorry.
It's because we did it already. I don't fucking know how Grub and Minotti do this shit twice a week.
Well, they
do it 3 times a week.
Yeah, but Grub will also attempt to make something interesting that, like, I have basically no. You know, he's like a classic newsman, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like
good at his job.
They're increasing the price of the PlayStation in Japan. I want Nikki. It took every single fiber of my being to not go, Jeff. I don't fucking care. I don't care. They could slap 1 billion yen onto that thing, and I'd be like, great. I hope someone in Japan buys 1 billion yen PlayStation. But he's a classic professional newsman who's going to take the news and go, this is interesting because of these socioeconomic factors of all. And I sit here and I go, Jeff, it could cost the same as a Ford Bronco, and I wouldn't give a fuck, Jeff. So that's how he and Mike do it. It's amazing. I don't have that skill. Talented. I wish I had that skill.
That ain't me.
Genuine, amazing talent. If you haven't listened to the Bombcast in a while, you should, because
it's great.
Well, Jan's amazing because Jan's always amazing. But Jeff Grubb really is one of my favorites.
Delightful.
And Mike Minotti is delightful in the way that, like, he can really lull you into a sense of thinking, like, man, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Mm-hmm. Like, he says shit, and it's just weird. And then it's like, oh wow, he said something incredibly thoughtful.
Yeah,
like incredibly thoughtful, because he's very good at his job.
Yeah,
which is
unbelievably
very
cool.
Smart. So that's a good. That's such a good sweet spot to be in. I feel like always keep them guessing. Yeah, we're on that one. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun hanging out with those folks and celebrating B Week. And that's going to be it for this episode. Don't know if there's going to be a Woo hit. I stream every Tuesday morning. Wake Up Honey, it's Tuesday over on twitch.tv/VGBs. We will see where I am on Tuesday morning. Maybe I will be. I will have good internet at the new house.
That's huge.
So
Fat pipes late.
There's a real good chance that we will actually do a stream that day. So check in. But we will be back next week with BGB's podcast episode 15. All right. Until next time, keep on buzzing.